Hello everyone, good evening. This is Kimberly O'Brien with Kim's Creations and Card Ministry coming to you on a pre-recorded video. Today is October the 1st, 2023. It is Sunday evening. As usual, I'm recording on the late side. It's 10 o'clock. I've been worse, so I'm working on it to not let this video go terribly long. I did want to showcase a few of the cards that I made with the current September 2023 with Love and Gratitude Paper Pumpkin Kit. It's a beautiful kit. It's no longer available except for the refill supplies. You can't buy the whole kit anymore, at least not through the Stampin' Up website or Paper Pumpkin site. However, there are refills available. And so in the refills, you would get these little pre-die cut pieces that can be turned into like a little bag box. You would also get the little note cards and the envelopes. And because there was not a stamp set in here, you really aren't missing on a lot to get the if you just order the refill. So it's really, because this is what came in the kit. Actually, I'm sorry, there was a stamp set. You wouldn't get the stamp set or maybe not the ink spot, but you would get all the punch outs. And I was thinking of the last kit I was working on. You would get all the punch outs and those things, but you could always use different flowers or pumpkins or something on this card. These are pumpkin cutouts, and it's a pumpkin stamp and then a floral kind of image. I think I stamped them all so you can see them, I think. Do I have them here? Let me see where I put them. Oh, paper pumpkins are towards the back. Excuse me, here it is. No. I know I stamped it somewhere, or I thought I did. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe it's here. So much for not being on here a long time if I can't find. I did straighten up a little bit, but apparently not enough. Okay, maybe I didn't stamp them. But, okay, so this is the little thing that you can make kind of a little box out of. It comes with these little, oh, there it is. There's the little gold punch outs. Here is the stamp set. It stamps this pumpkin and this floral piece right here. You can do with love and gratitude, thanks for you, grateful for you. Is that all? One, two, three, and thank you are the different sentiments that are in the set. The coordinating colors for this set are Copper Clay, Crumb Cake, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pebbled Path, and then Gold. And I think I might have used a couple other colors, and I'll tell you those when I show you my cards that I've done here in a minute. They've got these pretty little cutouts here. These cutouts here. And there's the envelopes with the pretty paper. The paper only goes from here to here. So from here to here is white. So if you want to stamp a sentiment, you can stamp it on that part of the envelope if you choose to break down the envelope. And then I broke down this a little bit because I'm making full-size cards instead of the tiny ones. And then it comes with a nice piece of the Mossy Meadow foil, tissue paper there. These are just some scraps that I pulled out of my scrap bin that I'm gonna probably be using with these cards. So I just put them in here. Some of them are the suggested colors that they gave for preparing this kit. So for one of the cards, I didn't use any of the stuff for the little bag. But for one card, one of the tiny cards, you are supposed to use, here it is. You're supposed to use the card, obviously, They didn't say the envelope, but the envelope, there's a tiny gold piece. You use one of the leaf punches and one of each of the pumpkin punches, and then you would be stamping this image. And then there's also this little image, punch out banner punch out with some gold trim. I messed mine up, so mine did not get used. I tried stamping it on both sides and I messed up both sides, so I ended up not using that. But I pulled out these items, and between these items, a couple additional pieces of cardstock, some stamping, cutting down the envelope, I got 3 cards. So I'll show you what I got here. Forgive me if I'm stopping a lot. I've not felt great today and probably a little dehydrated. I was hoping I had some ginger ale in my refrigerator. I don't have any. So I'm drinking key lime LaCroix, and it's not that good. Anyway, okay, so on this one, I used a crumb cake card base. I used half of the little card, cut half that card. Let me find that little card again. Sorry, y'all. So there's the envelope. Here's the card. So I used half of the card on this one. I cut the envelope, little strip off of the envelope. I punched this with the Bow's punch out of a piece of scrap paper I had. This is one of the punch outs, and then this is the punch out pumpkin. Of course, I used my double oval punch for this, and then again, there's another little piece of scrap from the Bow punch. This background, I used the crumb cake on a blending brush, and this came from this masking stencil is in the 22-23 annual catalog. It's still available online. Artistic Mixed Decorative Masks. And so that's the one I used, and I used the blender pen to stencil that on there. And I wasn't really concerned about how dark or light it was because it was just for a background. And then on the inside, again, I used the stamp set here. I didn't use the stamp set on the front. I used the stamp set to decorate the inside, and I was real tickled with how pretty that was. I'm like, ooh, I need to just make a card doing that. This is, I believe I used Cajun Craze stamped off for that color right there. And these are Lost Lagoon, I think Full Strength Lost Lagoon, and then this is Pretty Peacock, I believe. And then this came from Nature's Prints. And so did the part on the inside, the Best Wishes and Happy Thoughts came from Nature's Prints. And what I wanted to show you was the similarities between this stamp in Nature's Print and this stamp in this kit. Find the piece that well, here it is. Here's where I stamped it. I was going to use that on a card, and I ended up not using it. And then here it is again. But look at the similarities between these two. So you could very easily buy the refill kit. If you have Nature's Prints, use your Nature's Print stamp instead. And again, you could use a flower instead of a pumpkin. If you don't have a pumpkin, find, a flower that would go well and substitute that in there. You could even use this little flower. You could just ink up the little flower and like stamp out 3 of those, and you could fussy cut them. Or if you have this set, you could die cut them and just use the floral part of the image. Okay, so that was the first card I did. The second card, again, I took part of the envelope. I cut it into 3 strips. I was just going to use a square, and then as I was working, I decided to split the strips into 3 even pieces. I used this tag that's in the catalog, Elegant Edge tag topper, and I used it to it's right about a 2-inch piece strip of crumb cake, and I used a little tiny piece of the rest of this card base. There was just a strip of it that I used to go behind the happy birthday. This is where I said I messed up. I messed up stamping the gold rimmed when it kept coming out crooked. So I tried again. This is the gold, the small gold foil that came in the kit. I trimmed it in half, split it in half, so I make it go a little bit further on my card. I used the stamped image from the kit. I stamped off with the Lost Lagoon and stamped back of my paper for a little bit background there. What did I do inside? And there again, I used this again with Lost Lagoon, stamped it full strength and then stamped off. Same images here from Nature's Prints. And I stamped on the back of that one. I don't know if I did the back. I didn't do the back of this one. There we go. And then this last one, I used the rest of this piece. Remember, I took a strip off to do this, and the other half was on this first card. So I took what was left over here. I stamped one of these and fussy cut it out. I think this is the one I was going to use this here, and then I decided I wanted something more with dimensionals. I stamped this image. So again, this is an image in the kit. I stamped it with the Pretty Peacock, and I fussy cut it, and I put the punched out white one. Oh yeah, these were both fussy cut as well. Cajun Craze and Cajun Craze stamped off and fussy cut out. Then I fussy cut that one. That was the punch. 2 more strips I was able to get out of that envelope. I pulled in this rustic, I think it's called rustic ribbon, from one of the new in color ribbons that matches this Pebbled Path cardstock. This sentiment came from the stamp set with Love and Gratitude. And then, again, more little pieces of leftover. I think I threw away about this much paper, was all. Again, I used this stamp here just in the corners with the Pebbled Path ink. So I thought those turned out really pretty. And I only used the materials for one of these, okay? And then the rest of it was using the stamped images, pulling in a couple stamps from and materials from some other kits, mainly this Nature's Print kit. And I did use the bow punch. I'll probably use it again because I love punches. They're just easy to use. So these gives you a lot of options that you can use with this set. And again, I feel like you could buy this refill on this set and be great without having the ink or the stamp set. Because you could, especially if you have Nature's Prints, because I think Nature's Prints would work great with this set. All right, moving on. So that was the September paper pumpkin. I didn't pull up the flyer for the October paper pumpkin that's going on right now. It's available to purchase a subscription for October paper pumpkin. The October paper pumpkin will be a Christmas design. It'll be for Christmas cards. If you want it, you need to subscribe no later than October the 10th. You will get it, or near the end. We get around the 20th of October. You can start working on some Christmas cards. Again, if you don't already have a demonstrator, when you go to sign up to subscribe to your paper pumpkin, if you would use me as your demonstrator, I would really appreciate it. You just search by my name, Kimberly O'Brien, Kimberly O'Brien. If you have any questions, the best way to reach me is 864-752-5688. That's the best way, is to text me at this number, and I will text you back, and I'll set up a call. So yeah, subscribe by October 10th before if you can, for a new subscription, for you get the Christmas card kit. And then the next one that you would get in November is going to be Christmas tags. They coordinate and will match the card set that you get in October. Okay. I think it's like $24.50 for the month. That includes shipping. You'll get everything to make the cards as shown on that photo in the front. It shows you the cards that they've chosen. You'll get everything you need in that kit to make those cards. And only if you go outside the box, like I do pretty much all the time, would you need any additional materials. All right, again, any questions, just let me know. I'm going to be showing y'all this card that I made in my class the other day, but before I go on to that, starting on October the 3rd, which I think is Tuesday. Today's first, yeah. Starting Tuesday, if you're looking through the catalog and you're seeing, I don't know, about $75 or $65 worth of product you're interested in ordering, you should seriously consider about getting a starter kit. A starter kit, typical price, normal price, is $99. And you get $125 worth of product. So you would pay $99 plus tax, no shipping, for this order. And you would choose out of anything in any of the catalogs that are current, any of the online exclusive, any of the clearance items, you would choose from those items up to $125. You cannot go over the $125, and that would cost you $99. That's normal. But for October the 3rd through October the 31st only, instead of paying $99 for that $125 worth of product, you would get a 35% off discount because it's our 35th anniversary. 35% off. Then your starter kit would be $64.35. So if you're going to spend that much money anyway, why not get $125 worth of product for the same amount of money you were going to spend anyway? And then you wouldn't have to pay the shipping. You would just be paying the tax, not the shipping. Okay, the other option is that you could continue and spend the $99 like a normal kit cost, but instead of getting $125 worth of product, you would get an additional 35% more, which comes to $168.75 worth of product. You can't go over that. $168.75. So if you come up and your order adds up to $168.50, you need to stop, because I don't think we have anything for 50 cents right now that you can purchase. Both of these options get free shipping, free business supplies, which you don't have to use. If you don't want to operate a business, that's fine. You'll just get your discount for as long as you're active. But in addition to those items, you're going to get free registration to the online on-stage event that is going to be in November. Can't remember the date. But that costs $77. I didn't sign up for that because I didn't want to spend the $77 on it. But if you join this month, whether you used a $64.35 join fee or the $99 join fee, you get that $77 value for free. And there's also some exclusive items that you can purchase at a discounted price, and you would be able to buy those items before everybody else too. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. $300 minimum per quarter. So October, November, December. So technically you would need to spend $300 in October, November, and December to keep your membership active. However, they give you a grace period. So technically you would get until the end of next March because of the grace period. All right. Online, some of those online exclusive I was just talking about that you could get. So as demonstrators, we get options to purchase things early if we want to. And there are some new products that are coming out. I thought I had another picture. Wait, yes, I do, maybe. Yes, here it is. So some of the things that demonstrators, and if you sign up, you would be able to get starting on the 3rd, is this set here. It's not very big in the picture. Sorry about that. It's called Meandering Meadow. Let me get up and make sure I got this in the camera. Meandering Meadow. And you can kind of see the artwork and the dies there. So the stamp set has got some neat little garden looking things, including a gate and some tools and some plants and a watering can and some rain boots. And then there is the die cut set. I mean, and you can buy them separately, or you can buy them as a suite or as a bundle. If you order the bundle, you get 10% off these two items together. The other items that are included in the suite are the designer paper, these little adhesive back dragonflies and birds, and this pecan pie center stripe ribbon. So those are all part of the suite that you could order ahead of time, or if you just want the bundle, or if you just want the stamp set, or if you just want the dragonflies, you can get any of that stuff early if you become a demonstrator. But for everybody else, these items will be available, I think it's November the 7th. And then this little cutie down here is the one I want. I'm not sure I want the die cuts, but I know I want the stamp set. It's called Fluffiest Friends Bundle. Again, I could order just the stamp set for $26 or the dies by themselves, but if I get them together, I get a 10% discount. But they are just too cute. And y'all know I love the animal stamps. I like the true to life ones, but I've gotten to where I really like the cartoon ones as well. So really cute. But they'll be available for anyone to purchase. I believe it's the 7th of November. But if you are a demonstrator, or if you sign up to be a demonstrator, you could get those things in October. So I just wanted to let everyone know about that upcoming special. Now moving on to one of my cards from my card class. I had a card class this past Saturday. I didn't get very many people that were able to come this time, but I did get a couple people said they wanted a card kit. What a card kit involves is all the paper, cardstock, designer paper, ribbon, embellishments, die cuts to put a card together, including an envelope. Everything you need to make that card. But I cannot do your stamped images for you. You would have to do your own stamped images. So for this card kit, if you wanted this card kit, you would get a piece of watercolor paper, and I'm going to show y'all how to do this card. A watercolor paper for the front. Okay, this is a very vanilla card base. It's a typical size card base, half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. Okay, then this is a piece of designer paper. It is current. It's online. It's an online item. It's called Garden Walk. Is this one Garden Walk? This is not Garden Walk. This is the current one. Oh, I can't remember what. It's like Irresistible something, I think. But really, anything that's using this not Just Jade, the Lost Lagoon background or the Pretty Peacock, either one would be fine. This is Lost Lagoon mostly, okay? On the inside, it's a little bit more into the darker Pretty Peacock. So you would get this strip for the inside and this piece for the inside. So that's what your inside looks, that I did, because I stamped. Again, this came from Nature's Prints, okay? I used the Nature Print stamp set to do this. and I can't remember what that's out of, but you could certainly use something that's in the Nature's Print set. So you would get card base, the piece to go on the card base, the piece that you're going to watercolor. You get the 2 inside pieces. You would get the ribbon. There's a long piece and a shorter piece of ribbon. And did I say the envelope yet? An envelope. Oh, and these little pieces that I die cut for the front. Again, this is from Nature's Prints. You would get 2 of these. These are the Nature's Prints die cuts. You would get 2 of the little berry burst ones, and 1 of these that's the wild wheat color to go. And you get this too. I thought I had, oh, there he is. And then you would just stamp whatever sentiment that you wanted to use on your card, and for the inside as well. So that's what you get if you order the card kit. So I had a lot of people that, even though they couldn't come to my class, wanted my card kit. So I wanted to show everybody how to make your card kit card. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, and we did 3 cards, but I'm not going to do them all tonight. I'm going to do 3 separate videos. So this is the first video. This is for card number 1. This was card number 1 because this piece has to dry. So while this one was drying, we went to card number 2. Card number 2 also had something that had to dry because there was another watercolor one. So then we did card 3 while that was drying also. Did I get 2 pieces? I feel like I've got 2 pieces of paper there. Maybe not. I'm going to stick all that back inside so I don't lose those pieces to the card. All right, so if anybody would like this card kit, there is a way you can get it for free. And that would be by purchasing at least $35 under my demonstrator name and using my host code. Right now, this host code is good through tomorrow. I will change my code on Tuesday and start my October host code will start on October the 3rd. So if you're not going to order it right away, be sure to make sure it's an active code, okay? If you're waiting until Tuesday, wait until I post my Tuesday my Tuesday code. But if you order $35, you can get that card and another card, and you'd get enough to make 2 of each, okay? I hadn't decided what the other card is. I've been doing Christmas cards. If you wanted a Christmas card, just say I'd like this one and a Christmas card for my free gift. If you spend $50, you will get a bonus gift from me. All right. So we're going to start with the watercolor part. So I have a piece of watercolor paper here. Now what you probably would want to do is put something under here that you don't mind getting wet or yucky. The easiest thing for me to pull out right this moment is one of my silicone mats, but that doesn't really cover a whole lot of space. So I'm actually going to bring this in here too. It's a large block I have. It's old. It's just one I've had for years. And then I'm going to use, this is the block I'm going to actually use for my card, and I'll be putting that on top of it. You're probably going to want some paper towels. I'll put one here. Put another one over here, just a blob with. You will want a spritzer with some water in it. Any kind of spritzer will do. Stampin' Up sells these little ones. Or you can just get a brush and brush water on your paper or on whatever you're doing. We are going to put some water on our paper. And then we're going to use ink refills. And the 3 inks that I'm using are Lost Lagoon, Berry Bright, and Crushed Curry. I think I had that written down, so let me pull this over here for you. Lost Lagoon, what I call it, Berry Burst, and Crushed Curry. Those are the 3 ink colors that I'm using. Excuse me, I will get some drink. Now, if you don't have any of the refills, but you do have the colors or some similar colors, you could do this, Lost Lagoon. Whoops, pulled out the wrong one. Sorry about that, y'all. Lost Lagoon right here. You could take Lost Lagoon ink. Let me see. All right, so this is clean right now. This is the lid, okay? And you squeeze it together best you can, and you get some ink here. You squeeze a little harder, you get more. The other option is to take a block, take a clean block, and you can put it in here, and there's some ink. Okay, you can do that. Get your paintbrush, which I don't think I brought any water in here with me other than what's on my spritzer, but that might work. You could take a paintbrush. Any paintbrush will do. So this is just this is usually just one that I use to get stuff wet with. But I also have this nice one from Stampin Up that you can use. But what I would do is I'd want to get this kind of wet. Let's see if I can squeeze some of the water on here. I think y'all can see that. I can get my water to squeeze out. All right, squeezing out a bunch of water to get my ink. And it might not be as dark as I want right now because I probably squirted too much water. But I can come back and make it darker. And just tap some onto your space. And just don't have a bunch of stuff laying around because you don't want it getting on. Or you can just dot it on there. That might work better, just to dot it on there. So we'll just dot it on there best we can. On approximately a third of your paper, okay? And then you would put down the next color and the next color, and you can do it all this way if you want to. That is not a problem. You can do that. And we'll clean this up as it's extra messy. The other thing that I do, you know, Dollar Tree has those plastic placemats and all different pretty designs and colors and everything. And they're really cute. And I use some of those on my table. But I have some that had gotten old and messed up or whatnot. And I use those. I'll put them under my workspace to keep my workspace dry. They work great. And then they wipe clean so easy. So that's what I use a lot. All right. My piece of paper, of watercolor paper that I'm using is 5 by 3 3/4. 5 by 3 3/4. Right now, I'm just using some heavyweight watercolor paper because I was running really low on my Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up has watercolor paper. It's called Fluid 100. Nope, that's not my Fluid 100. Yeah, I am about out. Fluid 100 watercolor paper. It's 100% cotton. It doesn't tell me the weight of it, but it is a pretty heavy weight. So I do use it a lot, and I would just cut my piece in half if I were going to use the Fluid 100. It's great watercolor paper, but I'm kind of, like I said, I only have like 2 sheets left, so I'm not using it right now. So a pretty heavyweight watercolor. And be sure that you get, and with my eyes being bad, I can't tell real well, but you want to use the rough side. There's one side that's usually a little bit more rough than other. It's going to be the top. So what I'm going to start by doing is getting my watercolor paper a little wet. I'll slide everything over just a tad to make sure I stay in the camera. Yep, I think I got everything in here. So we're going to go ahead and get my paper a little wet. And it will bow some, but it's not that big a deal. So I think I'm going to go, this is Berry Burst, and I'm just going to put a couple dots down on my paper here. Just little tiny drops. And then I'm going to do yellow. It's kind of weird. The yellow is not quite as cooperative coming out of the bottle for some reason. And the drops are smaller. Don't know why. Crushed Curry. And Lost Lagoon. Now this will be messy. So, you know, paper towels. Ooh, I just did way too much green. This is berry burst down here, isn't it? Yeah. Making sure I didn't do 2 Lost Lagoons. All right, and I think that's still a little wet. But now I want to take my, get me another paper towel. My spritzer here, and I'm going to spritz my ink blots a little bit. And I'm sending my spritzer ink that way because I've been tending to get, and it came over on my paper, but it's no big deal. I'm tending to be getting way more green and less yellow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put another drip of yellow right here and get it to come out in here. I'm going to spritz that back the other way towards the berry burst color. There we go. And then I'm going to lay this on top like so. Just lay it on there and push down on it. If you move it a little bit, it's no big deal, but I do want to kind of try to spread my ink, and probably the ink's going to go down the side of your pad a little bit too. So now if you would like to, and you have them handy, tweezers are nice to pick up your project. And find mine. Here's some tweezers, and that's why you want a piece of paper or even a paper towel. I mean, even a paper plate nearby. I actually have a paper plate. I put my dirty blending brushes and sponge daubers on top of a paper plate a lot of times so they don't get other stuff dirty. And just pick it up and lay it down right here. Oh, those are nice deep colors. All right, now I don't always do this because it doesn't always turn out, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to double dip. Double dip. Different kind of double dip. Where'd I put my squirter? Here it is. I've got this leftover piece of trim right here, and it's messed up right there. But I'm on just the rough side. I think this is the rough side. I want to get this wet, and I want to try to dip it. I thought I could make some bookmarks with these colors too. So I'm going to put this one right here. Put my finger in that big time. Pick that one up. Okay, and then I'm going to do this other side also. So if you think you have enough left there, you can try doing another piece of paper. Go ahead and have something cut and ready to go, just in case. Set that over here where it won't matter what it gets on. So we're going to get this one on here too. And that should be pretty good. Not as pretty. Not as pretty, but that's okay. And they dry differently. What I'm going to do right here. Just trying to get, looks like some went up underneath. Look at that. Look at that. It went up underneath. We'll get some in there. Add some extra color. Get some of that. But I definitely got some good color on my original piece. I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to use up some of this and get some deeper color in here too. Okay. That actually looks like a little bit of a pale blue in there. That's kind of pretty. All right. I don't know if I'm going to get anything else out of this. All right, and then you take your paper towel and you clean everything up. So this is step 1 to your card. So if you're getting a card kit, you might want to come back to this video and watch how we did the watercolor portion of our card. All right, and I'm going to move this to some place where it doesn't matter if it gets on anything. Don't have many places like that. I do have this one. I have one spot. I do have one spot I can put it. Here we go. Get rid of that paper towel. I'll move these out of my way. Now, as soon as I get finished with my video, I'll go wash that brush. I wasn't planning on using that brush, but since I did, I'm going to want to go ahead and wash it and not leave it. Oh, I got my pad dirty. That's why you use the placemat. But I will move that. See how pretty that is? I will move that so get that cleaned off, that brush, so the ink doesn't permanently get into my brush. I'm gonna set this to the side, put it over, and I'll pull it back after a while for y'all to see. It's gonna dry for a while. Let's see if I can dab that dry. I'm probably gonna want to pull my, whoa, don't knock my drink over. I'm gonna pull this over so I don't get anything ruined there. All right, in the meantime, because that will have time to dry, and it won't be dry timely enough for us to finish our card. So I've got one I did the other day. And the coloring came out a little different because every one you do is going to be different. So here's my first one. This was my original. And then this is the next one I did. And actually, I did another one like I did my bookmark just now with this. Do I have it over here or did I put it away? I think I might have put it away. But I did it on a smaller piece. But the colors are a lot more muted. They're not as bright as these. So the second time around, your colors, and you saw that on the bookmark too. They weren't as bright on the bookmark. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these edges off, okay? I made the card, made the watercolor paper a little bit bigger than this one because I knew we were going to want to trim some off of it, okay? So it's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And I might have to go off and take a little bit more off of the edges, but we'll just see first. And it's okay if you have a little bit of white showing. It's not going to hurt anything. But sometimes your edges don't look so great. It just depends on how they blended. If they blended really pretty, which I'll show an example of one that did. I'm not cutting off that edge. It's just too pretty, you know. But I think part of the reason why is because we were laying them on that block and they kind of left a line. So I'm not crazy about that line. So I'm trying to get that line off. I've been turning it upside down to cut out because it's bowed a little bit. But now that I've got some of those bowed edges off, I'm going to do it right side up, and I can kind of see if I'm getting it all off or not. Now this paper might be just a little harder to cut than your cardstock. So just be sure you're pushing down on your blade. The blade's good and sharp and all that stuff. All right, there might be. There might be just a tiny bit of that line showing. Yeah. It's not bad though. I don't want to make it too much smaller. That's good. I'm not going to make it too much smaller. I'm going to leave a little bit of the line, but I think I'm going to turn it. I might turn it down like this. They don't have to go the same way. Now, of course, if you trimmed off something that you're really happy with, you could keep one of these trim pieces and put them on the inside. I don't know if I want to use any of those or not. We'll wait and see. If I do, I will do. If I don't, that's fine too. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is, I don't think I pulled out my stamps, but I have them here. Let's get out my stamp set. Let's pull all my little guys out of the way. Let's move all those and hope I don't lose them. Okay. I need my Nature's Prints. There it is. And that same, but unfortunately, I got to go back and get that stamping block because it's the only one I have that size that will hold that stamp. So I hope I got it clean. I think I got it pretty clean. Okay, here we go. So this is a size, what does that say? E. I can't read that. Can y'all read that size on there? I don't know. I think it's an E. It's really a problem when you can't see. Okay, so we'll stick this on here. Okay, and I'm going to use my Pretty Peacock. Or am I? Not for the inside. Yeah, I am. I'm using Pretty Peacock. A piece that I can stamp off on. All right, and if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you can go to stampinup.com and you search for demonstrator. It's at the top left hand. There's a place you can push to shop for a Stampin' Up or search for demonstrator. You will have to type in my name. This is not the stamp I want. You would have to type in my name, Kimberly O'Brien, Obrien, to find me. Unfortunately, you have to type me in to find me, and then choose me as your demonstrator. Place your order, put in all the things you want. If you're spending less than $150, then there's a place near where you're checking out. It says, "Do you have a host code?" Why, yes, I do. I'm spending less than $150 before taxes and shipping, and I would like Kimberly O'Brien to be my host code person. And so you put it in there and it'll say your host code is for Kimberly O'Brien. Is this correct or something? Anyway, I would really appreciate that if you're spending less than $150 that you use me as your demonstrator and use my host code. Now, if you're spending more than $150, please, by all means, don't use my host code, because you're going to get free products. You're going to get, if you spend $150, you're going to get $15 worth of free credit, free merchandise. Right then, you'll spend another $15 on merchandise that you get for free. And I want you to have your free merchandise, you know. But if you're not going to spend the $150, I can combine it with another order. Say you spend $75, and then I can place another $75 order using that host code and get the $15 worth of product to buy some of the things that I'm like running out of, like white paper or some of my blender pens that I'm running low on, things like that. There we go. So this is for this inside piece. And I think I had decided I was going to put, what I was going to put on inside. I doubt seriously he's going to be watching this but I have someone that I want to send this to. Hope you are feeling better. Hope you are feeling better. That's one I use. That's from this Apple Harvest stamp set, which is in the catalog. The other thing about this stamp set is it came at one time with a set of dies. It was this time last year when we had a mini catalog. I believe it was during Celebration that they had the die cuts to go with this. Well, guess what, y'all? They're on the clearance rack. Apple Harvest die cuts are on the clearance rack, so go check those out. And that'd be something you might want to add to your purchases if you decide to purchase anything. Okay, let's use this bigger block right here. So I'm going to put this on the inside. I want to see how it looks first. I haven't stamped this before. I haven't even used this apple set yet, because when I got it last year, I think I finally got it. It was like after apple season, and I never used it. And now I'm going to be out of apple season again and not use it. So it's sitting right here on my desk. So the plans are to use it soon. I'm going to put that right here and pray that it's straight. I'm sorry if my head is in the way. Hope you're feeling better. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, and then I should have left my ink out. This is going to go on the inside with the little strip. I don't know if this is going to fit on here or not, but I'm going to try. And this one says, you're on my mind. I don't know, like I said. I'm going to do it on the back. See if it fits on the back. You're on my mind. And like I said, I really have no clue if it'll work or not. We're going to stamp and see. Well, it goes on there, y'all. Now, can I do it that good on the front? That's the question. I think I'll stand up to do the other one. Let's see. Let us see. You are on my mind. You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. I think that's Willie Nelson, isn't it? I did not have the rights to that song, but I did think about that song right at that moment. I like Willie Nelson a lot. Not as good as that one, but do I have another one? If I have another one already die cut, I'll try again. The other option is if you have the die cut, I think it's one of the Nature's Prints die cuts. If you have it, stamp it first and then go cut it out. And then it's okay. I'm going to try again. And hopefully this next one is better and not smudgy or whatever. And I'm sorry if my head's in the... maybe I'll turn this way. And I can maybe do it without getting my... I think that's the problem. I'm scared I'm getting my head in the camera. Okay. There we go. It's a little better. I think it's all the way on there. I'll take that. Set this one aside. I'll probably still use that other one. Okay. Set that aside. And then, now I want to stamp my focal image for the front of my card. And for that one, I'm using the larger stamp from the Nature's Prints die cut set. If I'm not losing all my little pieces here. This is the one I'm going to use. Okay, so, and I've decided I like more than one of those. So I'm going to do it a little differently this time. Put this up here where you all can see it. So I want to make sure I get it inked up really well. I'm definitely doing this full strength. I'm going to do one. I might turn it a little bit. Turn it this way a little bit. Do one here. Push down firmly, but don't rock it. Let it sit for a minute. Let the ink absorb. Again, it's a little different on watercolor paper. So, it might not be quite as crisp of an image as it would be on regular cardstock. But that really turned out pretty good. I did a better job, I think, than I did on that one. Of course, that's a different color, but still. And then I'm going to do this one more like about right here, I think. I don't care if it's overlapping a little bit. I'll get some drink again. I'm not crazy about this drink at all. I like those, what were they called that I was drinking? Oh, I can't remember what they're called. Oho or something. I don't know. I like those better. But this is all I had. So yeah, it might have been better if it didn't overlap. So you might want to be a little bit more conscious of that than I was. All right, so that's all the stamping, I believe, except for your envelope. If you want to stamp something on your envelope, which I probably should do while I have it all out. All right, envelope. Envelope. All right, here we go. Since I'm actually going to be mailing this card, I will do an envelope. Sometimes I don't do envelopes right away because I don't know if I'm actually going to be sending it to someone or if it's going to go on a tray at the nursing home. This one I'm sending to someone, so I'm actually doing an envelope, and it will get mailed this week. So I'll stamp that off again. There we go. I kind of would like to put a touch of color in there. Oh yeah, let me do this though. Do something here. I like to do something on the back flap too. I'll do this one. The other one's kind of big for the back flap, but this one will work. There we go. I'm gonna try something. We'll see how it works. I'm gonna get out my Berry Burst. Stamp off, stamp off. Ah, the third time off. Or stamp off, stamp off. So stamp it off again, stamp it on the paper. That's what I'm going to do. Off, off, paper. Off, off, paper. Go. It's a little bit of color in there. Off, paper. Off, paper. Paper. There we go. And I can still get the address on there and everything. Probably did it too many times. I tend to overdo things, but that's okay. I still think it will be well loved, the envelope, until it gets thrown in the trash. The card might not get thrown in the trash. Envelope probably will. You know, it's just the way of the world. It's a shame, but it happens. All right, so now we need to glue this onto here. I think I can move that out of the way for now. I'll probably glue it over just a bit. Well, actually, I'm not going to glue it yet. I need to do my ribbon first. Let's look at that. I think I pulled out my ribbon, didn't I? Yeah. So, a short piece and a long piece. The short piece goes on, and we'll just wrap it around, and we'll tape it with some Scotch tape in the back. There's my Scotch tape right under my nose. Okay. I'll put it about right there. And I'm gonna just give you a little tip about something. It's up to you if you want to do this or not. I think I'm gonna leave mine. I'll show you in the front when I turn it over. Okay, so when I trimmed this off, I didn't want to trim anymore, but it left kind of these little white, a little tiny bit of white right here and right here. And then on my original, when I cut it, it actually didn't cut real well right here, and so there was some like jagged stuff sitting out that was white. Now I did take, I can't remember if it was over here or over here, but I did take a sponge dauber and daub the white there. You could use a sponge dauber and color that in if you don't like it, or you can just leave it. It's watercolor. You know, sometimes there's going to be white spaces in watercolor, and that's okay. And I'll go ahead and then put this on my card base, which is right here. Make sure I got it right side up. Glue. Now I could have used the other color of this if I wanted to. I mean, that looks pretty too, but I like it a little bit darker. So I'm going to use this side. I had to look up this name of this paper. I have to look up the name of the paper. I think it's an online paper. I got something. Like a glue boogie or something clogging up my thing there. Okay. And I usually just kind of eyeball stuff, try to get it even all the way around. There you go. If you're new to watching my channel, I would certainly appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. That's the way YouTube treats us better, is if we get people subscribing to our channels. The main thing I need is I've got to have 50 subscribers so that I can do a live. If I can do lives, I think there's a way I can combine my Facebook and my YouTube lives, so I don't have to do, okay, today I'll do a YouTube live, today I'll do a Facebook live. It's hard to keep up with. I would really like to just to do one and let it cover both bases if possible. So you all, I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ask your friends to subscribe. Just go start at the beginning, look at what cards I'm working in, fast forward to the end, and you can see what the finished product looks like. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, and if you were interested in that card, then you can back up and go see what we did to make the card. I love what I do. I've been making cards for many, many years. I give my cards away mostly to people that are lonely, alone, in the hospital, in assisted living, in the veterans' homes, things like that. And I just know if I were there and didn't have family nearby, I would surely appreciate getting a card from someone. It would make my day if I had a card come on my tray for breakfast or lunch or something one day. And this is, that's mainly why I do this, is to give people, bring people love and joy and cheer to their lives. And if y'all could do anything to help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. Even if you want to just come, if you live nearby and you want to come help me make cards. I make cards pretty much every Saturday and Sunday at some time. And during the week, I'm in here almost every night as I work a day job. Got to have that insurance, you know, so I have to have that day job. But it gets overwhelming sometimes to try to send so many cards. And then right now, you start running out of stuff. Like right now, I'm running out of stuff. And I need to buy some new stuff. Trying to be real picky about what I buy. And sometimes it's hard to get all that all figured out. So anything you can do to help me out would be greatly appreciated. If you know someone that can help me get set up as a nonprofit, that would really be amazing. I think I want to leave it on this side. Yeah, I did the floral on that side too. I'll do that. So I just think the inside of this card is gorgeous. The inside of this card would actually make a gorgeous outside of a card, I think. The simplicity of it, and yet it's so very beautiful. I mean, you can do that and like this, and maybe put a ribbon or a couple embellishments on it or something. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be a pretty outside of a card? I might just have to use that for an outside. Sometimes my inside cards, I just like, oh my gosh, that was such a pretty inside of a card. I feel, but there you go. So the person that opens their card, they get a beautiful, not only do they get a beautiful envelope, if they're getting one in the mail, they get a beautiful envelope, they get a beautiful outside of the card, and then they open it up and the beauty just keeps on giving. And even better than that is if I happen to stamp something on the back, which I think I will. Let's just stamp something on the back and bring them even more joy. You know, why not? We should do that. Let's bring these people extra joy. So we'll do one. And I'll stamp off. I'll do another one. And stamp off. I didn't do a great job right there. I'll cover that up with my pink, my berry color. Put it up already. So y'all give me some love, share the love, bring me more love. Let me just stamp that twice. I need subscribers to my station. I need people purchasing, using me as their demonstrator and using my host codes, or both. And I'll take any and all of that. And I'll also take people that want to come and make cards with me. That's always, 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 always an option if you don't live too far away. There we go. Give them a blob of pink on the back. Because this card will just keep giving and giving. All right, and now we need to put our little pieces in. Our little embellishment pieces here. I'll bring out my tiny tip glue bottle, which I finally got a new one. I'm hoping this one won't clog up like some of my old ones did. Okay. That's probably too much glue, but all right. So we'll put this right here. I'm going to let that go off the edge just a touch. Since I added the extra piece here, I can let that go off a little bit. Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to dry fit this first. And by dry fit, I mean let's lay everything down and put this on top of it and make sure we're putting everything where they can go and everything. I didn't do that. So this is what I would be doing this, and then lay all the other ones down and make sure I just like where everything is. But, you know, I already started gluing stuff down, so it is where it is. That's just the way it is. Okay. Got the 2 pinks and the wild wheat. Come on, they're kind of stuck together here. Undo. There we go. I'll let that one come off a little bit. It'll show up a little better if I go off with it a touch. Right there. The yellow one's going to be in the middle. Let's see. Go right about there, I think. Okay. Right. Make sure I got that pulled up where y'all can see it. Sorry about that if I didn't. I didn't have it up high enough. I'm so sorry. And that was the other thing. I could, if I'm doing a, if I'm doing the YouTube's live, I can have it pulled up on my iPad and watch myself do the video, and I can tell if I'm on the screen or off the screen, or if I'm loud or fuzzy or whatever. But I can't do that here. I have to wait and go back and watch the video. So, and then I have to post the video to YouTube. I have to wait for it to upload. It takes hours to upload a video. For some reason, it takes hours to upload a video. But, you know, what you gonna do? You just do. Take it one day at a time. All right, so I think this is going to be pretty, pretty, pretty. I'll put my needle back in this bottle. Oh, there's my other needle to put back in the other glue bottle, because I don't think I'm going to need my glue bottles anymore. Again, I can't see. There we go. Here we go. Now, just need to get this on there. I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I love these dimensionals, the Stampin' Up! Sales. I have tried buying them other places. I like these because they're not real fat. Some of them are very, I say fat, I mean like thick. These don't stand up very much at all, so the Postal Service doesn't hate them. Of course, now sometimes I put other things that I'm sure they don't like too much, but they're usually okay with these. Of course, if you put way too many layers and too much stuff, you might get into a situation where you need to add postage because of the weight. And if you do have something that's kind of bulky, you probably want to buy a butterfly stamp. A butterfly stamp tells the postal workers not to run the item through the machine because it might get stuck on the machine. They don't want their stuff stuck on the machine, and I don't want my stuff torn up in the machine. So I'm going to tell them by putting a butterfly stamp, which reminds me, I need to go buy a bunch of butterfly stamps. I might try to do that tomorrow because I do want to put this in the mail today. And I need to get all my October birthday cards together and addressed and get those in the mail this week too. So I probably should go buy 'cause I'm sure I've got some that are going to need butterfly stamps. I don't know that this one will, but I know I have some that will. All right, and so I just used this take your pick tool, this side that's not pointy, that's the can't think of what it's called, the embossing side. And I put that there to push my thing through, and then I pulled it back out again. Good, Kim. All right, let's try again, just with my finger this time, because that tool is not as fat as my finger and goes under there better. Good grief. Let's try again. Okay, and we're going to tie a little bow here on the edge. And I did not put any not dimensionals. I didn't put any embellishments on mine. You know what? I don't know if I want to put a bow on this. Do I want to just, might just want to make it this kind of a bow where it's not really a bow. I forgot that I was sending this to a guy. Let's not bow, let's just have it tied. Like a little tie-tie. Instead of a bow, we'll just do a knot, kind of like a knot. And then that adds some shine without being terribly feminine. There we go. So this was my first card for the card kit from the class from September the 30th, 2023, the class at my house. So if you are interested in this card kit, the way you can get it from free is you can get enough to make 2 of them plus 2 other cards of a different design if you spend at least $35 and use me as your demonstrator. And the host code also if you spend less than $150. So that's card 1 from the class. I don't know that I have a finished card 2. It's kind of funny. Card 2 kind of, I had done it, but then never put my card together. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but I never finished my card. So card 2, do I even have everything here? Sort of. So this is where I was going to show you the next watercolor and project was this. Okay, and I'll write down the colors when I do this class. I'll film this class here in a couple days, but this one was Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Daffodil Yellow or Yellow Daffodil, Calypso Coral, and Melon Mambo. And when I said, I mentioned the way I like sometimes how they go off the page and I wouldn't want to cut it off. It was this one right here. I love the way that did. And I wouldn't want to cut that off. And I won't. So I'm going to leave this one alone. Actually, I'm not cutting any of the edges off of this one. It came out like that, and that's how I'm leaving it. I have 3 cards now that I can make from this next card. I'm going to use this paper. It's one of the Christmas papers, but I'm using this side of it. So this is Melon Mambo and Poppy Parade. So I'm going to do my card base like this. And since I use the Melon Mambo here, I'm going to pull out the Poppy Parade with some, let me move these out of the way so I don't get spill ink on something. I had some strips somewhere. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. So at first I tried using, I tried using Berry Burst. I should have used Melon Mambo to begin with, but not Berry Burst. So I'm using Poppy Parade trim to bring out the Poppy Parade on that back of that piece. See, there it is. And then on top of this, oh gracious, Kim, my card base is this azure. I love this azure afternoon color. It is so beautiful. This azure afternoon. We're going to put this card, we'll do our watercoloring and everything. In a couple days, I'll come back and video how to make this card. But I'm only going to show you this much right now because I put up the rest of it. But it's going to be an adorable, beautiful card when we get it finished. So that was card 2. Card 3, which I'll do another video for. So I'm going to do these on 3 separate videos to keep me from getting grossly long-winded. This next card is actually a copying myself from one I did from scraps for a one of my paper pumpkins, the kit that had this little thing in it. And I had these scraps laying around. This was a scrap. The orange piece was a scrap. I had extras of these little pots laying around. So I made that card, and I love this card. So we're going to make a card using this, but we're going to, it's going to be a little different. Change it up a bit. So that was card number 3. So we'll be doing those 3 cards for the next 2 videos. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed these. I'm going to show you 2 cards that I did for a challenge. I think I finished them both. So my team that I'm on, for my person that's above me, gave us a challenge and wanted us to do a Halloween type card from out of the new catalog, the mini catalog. And I'm like, I didn't buy any fall paper. I didn't buy any Halloween paper. I didn't buy any Halloween stamps. I didn't buy any fall stamps or fall paper. Nothing that I could do Halloween with. So I was going to have to make do with something else that I bought out of that catalog. And I didn't buy a lot out of that catalog. But one thing I did buy out of that catalog was this punch. And it's called Modern Oval Punch. And I showed y'all this paper earlier kind of by accident. But it's the, not that piece. It's called Garden Walk Designer Series paper. And I used this piece from it. And I used this punch. I also used this out of the, I think it's the Brights that one was out of, for my card. All right. So, for card number 1, using the Modern Oval Punch. Y'all ready for this? I mean, this is really, really awesome. Modern Oval Punch. Y'all ready? I'm trying to make room so I don't lose anything here. Using Modern Oval Punch, I made my own version of Frankie and Dracula. These are also the Modern Oval Punch, and I trimmed them down. Just made them, squared them off a little bit. And let's see what I did do on the inside. I don't even remember. Oh, okay. I used some more of this paper here. And did some, I used the, I don't remember what you call when you take your pen and you splatter. It's splatter. I used some splatter. But there's my, and this is for the, I got to take a picture of that and post it so I can be eligible for the prize. And also, using the same paper pack, they used the backs of the papers for the most part. And using the oval again. This time I used pumpkin pie. What's it called? Crushed curry, white cardstock. I used those same. I used crushed curry ink, pumpkin pie ink, and peacock ink. and I did this card and made my own pumpkins. So if anybody would like to find out how I did those, I'd be glad to help with that too. Send me a message if you want me to do a class on these as well. I'll be glad to do that. Again, I hope you all have a great week. Hope you enjoyed this card 1 from my class from September 30th. And we still got 2 cards to go from that class, and then maybe my Halloween cards if you're interested in them. Thank you for your time. Please share, like, share, subscribe. Go to my Facebook page, Kim's, Kim'_S Creations with a K, the and sign, card ministry, and like it on there. And if you need any help with anything, I'm here and would love to chat. Y'all have a great night and great week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.